Cox.
And my name is Zach Sheehy.
And welcome to Two Guys Talking Over Tea. Oh my gosh. This one's so much worse.
I like it.
No. Oh, it tastes like I ate like stale celery. Like, that is awful. What's it called again?
I don't even. It was like green tea.
Wow, you just the color.
Vegetable blend. I don't know.
That's some of your protein stuff that I'm not interested in. That is bad.
It was tea though.
You did, but that was an accident. You bought Starbucks has all those weird sizes that nobody understands, and so that being said, like, I don't understand. Apparently, you don't either. It's venti, grande, tall.
Yeah, why do they do that?
I don't know, but I don't like when I go there and I say, "Can I get a medium?" and they say, "Do you mean a venti?" And I'm like, "No, I meant medium." And I know they're the same thing, but I just want it to be that way because it bothers me.
Do you think they do that because it's like, no one ever wants a small one. Like they want a tall one. Tall's like the lowest they can get.
Maybe.
It makes it sound like they're getting more.
It's kind of like using fake names for currency.
Yeah.
Like if you buy them on, watching YouTube or Twitch or whatnot, they have like bits. You can transfer your coins to bits because it's easier to spend bits than it is to spend money.
Oh yeah.
Just like gems and whatnot.
Bits sound smaller.
Yeah. So, some of our topics, kind of an overview for this time around. We're going to be talking about our business we're trying to start, or businesses, I should say. Something which I thought was interesting was trying to learn how to pay people, like, for what you're doing when you don't have any money. A lean business model, something that we're working on for my other job. A doctor, a businessman, a medical scribe. This is a story I heard the other day. You wanted to talk about Kickstarter. I thought that was a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
And then we had ending with crazy business ideas like we did last time, talking about something that's a little bit different, just fun ideas if we could, if we should, if we would, things like that.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. So you wanna kick us off with convenience fitness, and I'm gonna try to drink as much tea during your talking time, so I can get done really quick.
I'm gonna pace myself today.
Oh, I'm not. I'm trying.
You said I chugged it too fast last time?
Oh, no, that's awful. Go ahead and start.
So convenience fitness, or my idea on what I wanted to do with it, was because I am huge into the fitness industry, was create like a community, basically where you could either have a online personal trainer, or do the monthly fee and get unlimited access to like interesting, different style, fun workouts, like superhero style workouts, or like a montage from like the Rocky movie kind of workout. And I thought it'd be cool for every one of those workouts to have like the playlist from Rocky.
Oh, so like a music soundtrack to go with every playlist?
Yeah.
Like a Spotify link on every single one? That'd be pretty fun.
Do the workout while you listen to the music.
Yeah, well, you can even time it to the music if you wanted to. So that's your idea for convenience fitness. That's the model and whatnot. And the website is up if you wanted to go visit it. It's right now there's not too much on there. There's just a little bit about us, a contact page, and the basis for what we're trying to do. And that's conveniencefitness.com. Real simple, hopefully, as long as you can spell convenience. I had to check if the spelling was right 3 times. I was so worried about getting the domain.
You're not the only one.
The domain was open, so I was afraid that I was spelling it wrong.
Yeah. Are you sure this isn't taken?
Yeah. So I kept checking, and then I got it. So don't worry, we're good on that.
And the personal trainer part, there's 2 different ways you could go about buying the convenience fitness package. The personal trainer is like you get access to me, and you ask any questions, and I can actually make you a customized plan and eating habit ideas that you can like go. It's just basically a pocket personal trainer. But that name was already taken.
So why do you do the meal plan, like suggestions, instead of just like a set regulation?
Yeah, so the meal plans, like if you actually prescribe a plan, because that's what it's actually called, like prescribing a plan, because it's like a medical thing.
The same table that you're hitting, right?
Oh yeah.
It shakes it a little bit. You're all good though.
It's gonna be fun to edit that.
I'm not. So go ahead. Back to the meal plan thing.
So I'm gonna do this. So, what was I saying again? Oh yeah, the meal plan. It's kind of like, because eating is like a medical thing, so you have to actually. What do you?
Oh, the tea's so bad. I'm trying to stomach it. It's so bad.
So instead of actually, the whole basis of it is instead of actually prescribing a meal plan, so you don't get into any legal issues, you just do recommendations of what, like, the basis of healthy eating, instead of actually prescribing a meal plan.
Yeah, and that way it's more, and you put it
Yeah.
down as meal suggestions for things you could
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
that
yeah.
would help and complement the workout, like Rocky. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
punch your pig and then tenderize it, so there should be definitely a full roast pig.
You gotta roast a full pig.
Yeah, and you can use it in your workout. If you can make a workout that uses the food that I'm going to eat later on in that same meal plan,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll subscribe to our own business.
Really?
If we can do that. The other business that we're working on, or at least that we both have, is a board game that I'm working on called Cartastrophe. Inspired by like all the arcade games you'd go play as kids, where you pick up power ups and you cheat your friends and race around the track, kind of like Mario Kart style.
Vroom vroom.
Yeah, so I'm working on a board game with that theme in mind. I want it to feel like that same nostalgia you had playing Mario Kart with all your brothers and sisters. I love board games because you have to sit in the same room with the people that you're
You
wiping the
actually
floor
have to
with.
socially interact.
Yeah, I know, it's scary. It's terrifying. That's just what I'm hoping for. So as of right now, I'm trying to get the foundations up and running. I just actually, as you know, hired on your brother as the artist for it, and I'll pop a picture of something that he's done right here. Bah! Bah! There it is. And so I'll also put his Instagram account in the link right below. That way you can maybe check out his stuff. He does pretty fun cartoons, and I really like his art style. So he's the one doing the board game, because it's also pretty inexpensive to do it that way, because he needs portfolio work. So brings us straight to our next topic, because I don't know, and this was something I was thinking about the other day, is how do I pay people when I don't have
when
any
you don't-
money? How does someone like us
Yeah.
that wants to start a business, because I've had a job since I was 16. I worked at McAllister's Deli, I worked Zaxby's, and I've worked at Apple, and I work with the distillery. You've had a job since when?
I had one since the summer of 8th grade year, so my graduation year, and I've always done like personal training and working at gyms. So I've always had that one like style of job.
Yeah.
But it's always worked out for me. I've never, and I feel bad that you've had to deal with the fast food industry. I've never had
Everyone's gotta
the
spend
pleasure.
their time.
Yeah,
Everyone's got to do their time. That's why you don't ask for ranch if they didn't bring it the first time.
yeah. So you have the empathy for those people now. You go to this place, you know all the manners to do. You know if someone's having a bad day.
Well, I know the basics. Yeah, I know from what my experience was. Never made tips where I worked. Never had that opportunity. I don't know if I would have liked it more, having immediate like gratification.
Well,
of
the
it.
thing about tips too is you don't make as much like as base salary.
Yeah, you make like $2 or whatever. I don't know how it's,
So
it's
you-
legal, but
You'd rather do the tips though, even.
no, I'm saying I don't know what that experience is like. I couldn't say, because I'm not a huge tipper. I'll be honest. Like,
Mm.
but as of right now, I'm in college and I'm also spending all the money on.
Yeah, you want the cash. You want the on hand, the immediate. You'll feel like you did work today if
Mhm.
you got paid that day, instead of waiting.
2 weeks. It's always delayed.
God.
But that brings us to, what do you think? What would be your kind of idea behind convenience fitness? It's kind of you and I right now. So we just kind of are 50 on the work we're putting into it and trying to get that stuff done. As far as if we were to bring in someone else and pay, like, that idea seems absurd to me right now. because-
Yeah, that it's weird, and I think this is what most small business do is they have investors, right? And as far as people working on it, I guess they still have to pay, but that's the thing where you need a balance with money that you have coming in.
Yeah.
And it's weird when it's all imaginary, like numbers at this point.
Yeah, so that's my problem is I
Yeah.
don't know what to do. Like your brother Evan, I told him, I said, you need portfolio work, and I kind of...
Yeah, I guess that's a big thing that you have to do is sweet talk and be like, this is gonna look good for you, the kind of thing. But you will get money eventually if this makes money.
Well, I told him, pass or
It's just
fail.
it is yeah.
I'll get something up on the internet that he
That's
can
why it's
refer
good
back
to and bad to have people that you know on it. But I feel like it's good to have really close people that can trust you. Because if it does fail, hopefully they don't like get mad at you for like having it fail. Be like, oh, that was all my work. Like that's part of the game. Like that risk.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was talking the other day. I said, look up what you think is fair to pay an artist. I don't know if is it my job.
You had him look up his own salary.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, your brother's pretty passive.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he would do. I was curious to look it up, and he didn't. So I looked it up for him,
Yeah.
and I found that like professional art for a card for a game is typically around $30.
Is this for like board like most Kickstarter board
This
games?
was just what I found when you Google what do you pay an artist on a board
So
game.
the first thing that like popped up on Google, you're like, yeah, that's fine.
Well, it seemed pretty fair because the idea behind it is if you paid him $30 for one card, with the intention that they spend about an hour a card on it,
Yeah, no, that sounds.
that sounded fair. So I told him $20 because he's not a professional. That being said, I'm not saying I don't like his work.
Mhm.
I love the stuff he draws, but I'm like, it's kind of he's gonna get paid that. But the deal was if the board game makes over X amount of money. Yeah, I know it's not.
I'm
good.
sorry.
It has milk in it. It's definitely creamy.
Yeah, it's milk and ice.
So,
I'm sorry.
and then I'm worried about the bottom because you can see like I don't know if the camera.
yeah, a lot of green.
Like it's not moving when I lean the cup. The greens kind of stand there. That's getting
What's
better.
the status on getting actual teacups so I can feel fancy when I do a
Um,
little bit of a sip?
Whenever you go on Amazon, I bought the tripod.
Fine.
The teacups are here now. So, that's kind of my question. Is I don't really know. I told him we agreed that if it makes X amount of money, I will pay him the $20 per card. Otherwise, I will get it in a state in which he can put it on a portfolio, and that way we can both be proud of what we did and whatnot. Because I think it is at this age, it's okay to say to someone, what's your work experience? Well, I started a business. It did fail, but this is what I did. And this was the vision I had. And I'd say less on the fail side. Like I would love to deliver this product and get one copy out, and even if it doesn't
Yeah.
continue to sustain what's it called, residual.
Yeah, and
Like
I doubt
keeping
it's
pace.
gonna fail because of the art. I think that's not a concern, right? So
No.
like for him as a portfolio, like that's it didn't. He still has all this stuff like, oh, this is what I drew for a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. But what about paying people for other things? Because art's pretty simple. You can look it up. But what about paying for things that really don't have a price, like running social media? How do you pay people to run that? That's kind of however you feel it's worth it.
Yeah. I know somebody who does this as her entire business. She works with me at the Distill place, and her name is Haley Heischel, if I remember right. And I will pop her name also in the description below, because I want to make sure that any link that we try to say, I'll give you a link if you are interested in talking to this person or seeing this thing, that you have an access to that, with the hope of this being a useful podcast to people, especially our age. I think things like social media, with us, for young entrepreneurs, I don't think that it is a smart idea for us to pay for something like that when we have nothing but time. The thing we don't have is money.
Right.
So we have all the time and the passion. There's no excuse to not get your butt on social media and start promoting your business. Because to me, I hate Instagram.
Well, yeah.
You like Instagram though, don't you?
Well, I know the game, but the games are. It's really hard to play because each social media has a different way to play, a different format,
A different audience and things like that.
What's when they put the stuff on the top?
A header or a title,
No, when they put
caption, thumbnail.
no, when they put choose other people's pictures instead of other people. The algorithm. That's what.
Oh,
it is.
okay, yeah, getting the best
Yeah,
algorithm.
yeah. And that's always hard because Instagram is it's huge. It's a universe.
I'll tell you, there is a website that I've been using recently to help try to get my social media and my things to be the top when you Google McAllister Cox. Right now, as of last check, I'm number 3 via my LinkedIn profile, but my website is nowhere to be found on that. So some things that really help with the algorithm, you can be told by companies that do this sort of thing for a living. They help you get to the top of the things. I even saw you can pay $500 to and it literally said subdue this link, try to get it lower down the list. And I don't know what that meant.
Yeah, what will happen when companies get in battles? You just be 500. You just keep clicking it.
I don't know, but that website was brandyourself.com, and I've been using it for the last few months, and it's alright. They show you all of the things that they recommend.
There has to be a limit to that, right? You can't just keep. And people with the biggest pocketbook can just go all the way to the top, right?
Yeah, but
I mean,
I mean, you can do your best at our level. Knowing the convenience fitness, how do we get that to be the top thing when we Google it? Right now, the SEO for convenience fitness is turned off, so there's no search engine SEO, search engine optimization. It's the idea behind when you search, what tags are attached to it. So if convenience fitness, for instance, I'd make convenience fitness a tag because I want people to see the name. If it gets typed in, that should ping back yes, but maybe they don't know. So maybe I'd put down McAllister Cox and Zach Sheehy as a tag because they may have watched this and know, oh, I want to look at that business.
Right.
McAllister Cox's business. Well, McAllister Cox will ping back a yes. Here's all the links that apply to McAllister Cox. If you go down to like page, I've looked at it, page like 9 of Google, you'll find a award that I won in high school.
Really? Oh, so it is. It's
award.
that far back. You have
Yeah.
to go all the way 9 pages.
So you don't know what's still on there from you.
And no one's gonna click 9 pages too. So if your business is below the second page,
Yeah,
even the first page, you're not even. Gonna
I really
do
think
that,
the first 5 results, you're pretty much done.
Yeah. No one's gonna even scroll down to the bottom of the page.
Yeah, because they'll just assume they typed something wrong.
Yeah.
At least that's what I do. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if it's not at the top and I have to like really go searching for it, I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So I feel like there's no excuse not to be ahead of the game on the SEO stuff. I'm using this brand thing. It's like $30 for 3 months, and so I've used it now, and I get their basis
$10 a month.
and their strategy. Some of the best things you can do is like on your resume and on your portfolio site, if you place on there a blog or something of recurring content, the more you have on there, the more Google tends to prefer you. And so what you do is the idea is post blogs, keep going, and then channel them through other streams. Channel them to YouTube. If it notices that link's popping up a lot of different popular places, it will start to want to prefer that one. Because one, people are coming to visit your site, which is good for Google, because it wants to put you to the top, because that'll make it easier for them and things like that. I don't know how we got on SEO. I'm looking at our topic list. Not even on there.
It's good to go on tangents sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But I would
Yeah.
say, social media. So that sort of thing. Hey, screensaver.
Yeah, McAllister's MacBook Pro.
It does. I mean,
Nice.
I try to put my phone number on there in case, for those who can't see, my MacBook Pro that we use as our impromptu teleprompter.
You're not gonna put that image on the screen, are you?
No, I'm not going to put that on the screen. Impromptu teleprompter just went to a screensaver after being set to never do that.
Yeah.
So,
Silly
the next
Apple.
15 minutes we'll do it again.
Does that mean we've hit the 15 mark? That's
Oh.
fine.
You know what? Did that on purpose.
Yeah.
So, let's see here we have
Tell us about the lean business model.
the lean business model. Well, this is something that the man that I work for now, Walter, was telling me about. And I dig it. I enjoy the idea behind it.
Yeah, I don't think I know what this is, so I'm gonna learn something too.
The idea behind it, I would say, is that we've practically failed it already for convenience fitness. I've kept with it for the board game, but convenience fitness is not technically on the lean model.
Let's hear about it.
What do you think the lean model means? What do you think? If Cartastrophe, the board game, is not is currently the lean model, then why would convenience fitness not be? The differences between our two.
I guess the amount of things that you have to like click on to get to it. Like, we have the website. Actually don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But maybe it has something to do with how much money you've already spent on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You never spend money on. Actually, I would say maybe we have. You never spend money on something that's not going to make you money back. So I've yet to spend money on anything on Cartastrophe. I've only spent time. We've spent money on the website and the domain for convenience, but that is actually going to make us money.
Yeah.
That's the dream. So the idea is that you never spend money on something that's not going to immediately.
What
turn
are
around.
some examples of stuff that you wouldn't need in a?
Straight out the gate, you wouldn't need something like T-shirts, unless you're unless your product and it was your first. You're going to be a T-shirt company. You need to produce something first to sell in order to. So that cost of the T-shirts may be $1,000 because you want to get 100 units or whatever it would be. Then you would pay for that, and then wow, you cost
I said I was going to pace myself.
Yeah, I know you're a liar.
Well, it's like I don't know why I like these things. I just don't. This is gonna be. It has to be like absolutely repulsive for me to not.
I'm absolutely repulsed. I'm really not looking forward to the end. I don't think we'll be done by the end.
No, you're going to. You're going.
No, I'm going to finish, but we're at the point. So the lean business model essentially is that you will just make sure. So I'd say for us, SEO and getting
I
yourself
think
there
for
would be-
convenience fitness, we've been doing pretty well. Like, if you're saying like lean is in far as buying things, we've only bought the website.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna try to get headshots for free. Going to college is the best resource for free
Oh,
things.
yeah.
If you can show any sort of promise or have friends that want portfolio work, they will do it for free because two reasons: they're your friend,
Yeah.
and you tell them they can shut
Sometimes
off.
that's their passion too.
Yeah.
They help you with your passion. You help with their passion. It's just like you find those friends that are like good at things
So
that you're not good at.
do the optimal thing and go back to college to make friends that'll do stuff for you for free.
Are you telling them to go back to college?
Absolutely, because you get a lot of freedom. Like, I can't tell you how many people that I know that do photography and how many people that I know that just want to do like.
Oh my god! Look at
accounting.
that green stuff in there.
I'm not excited. It only gets worse. So that's kind of what the lean business model is, and I wanted to
That's
talk
cool.
about it in the sense of, since we are starting companies and I want this to have useful information on people. Lean business model, I feel like, is a good one for college students because you won't spend any money that won't come back to you in some way, shape, or form. As of right now, I know a website is recurring and not making us money, but it will be once there's a product.
Well,
to
yeah,
sell.
there's a potential, and I think $20 to have your thing out there because the website is like how they're gonna find the stuff to buy.
Yeah, because
It's a need at that point. Like, I agree with the T-shirts not being a need yet. Like, you don't need and as cool as it'd be to use T-shirts as like a business card or as like a way to get your thing out there.
I wanted
think,
to buy 100.
Yeah.
I told you that, right?
Oh, you wanted to buy?
I wanted to buy 100 T-shirts and hand them out to people at school.
No, that's not a bad idea at all. But I
it's
think
not making money.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just
we
that-
have the free resource. The social media is what we're gonna do first until we get it. Like, no,
Yeah.
and then at that point, whatever we do.
But I want a T-shirt with
I know the
with
T-shirts
little
are so
icon
cool.
on it.
I want to just merch out right now.
Yeah, but that's too much money.
That's pointless.
It'd be cool though. That being said, not lean, not a good business
Not lean.
model. At least I can't think of a good. I can't think of someone personally saying the shirt and going, "Hey, Zach, where'd you get that shirt? Oh, it's a business I run." For that might spark conversation. But give me a shirt, somebody who's maybe not in the business, it'd be like, "Hey, what's the shirt? Oh, it's a shirt my friend gave me.
Yeah.
Who runs business? Cool. What business is it? A fitness one." End
Yeah.
of story. Like, it's cool because it does spread the
Yeah.
word, and it's like, oh, I know a guy who started his own business or something like that. It's kind of nice, but as far as we haven't made a cent yet, you
Well,
gotta
yeah,
wait.
that's. What do you think would be some cool ideas getting your board game out there? Because we've talked a lot about convenience fitness, but I'm curious to know more about like what ideas you have for like social media marketing for a board game and stuff.
I'll be honest, I'm gonna nostalgia the heck out of it. I'm
That's
going
good.
totally for the
Nostalgia sells.
feeling. I'm absolutely going for the feeling of like I'm making the color scheme kind of like
What do you mean by that? That's cool. Because I saw the color scheme of it and I was curious. I was like, that actually looks pretty cool.
it's reminiscent to me of, and I always say reminiscent, and I never want to say that I'm trying to be derivative of, because the arcade racer kind of games where you like pick up a power up and hit somebody, the first
Yeah.
game you'll think of in that vein is what?
Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's the first game people think of.
Well, yeah, there's a ton. Like, that's not Mario Kart's like. Mario Kart's not the only one that's done that, but that's the first one you think of.
Yeah, that's just the one that people have most nostalgia for. So I'm trying to hit that kind of color scheme and whatnot. But the thing is, it's scary how protective Nintendo is of their
Yeah,
sort of.
you just don't want to mess with Nintendo.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm different enough from them, but also hitting that feeling, because that's what the game should evoke. That's the dream. Is
Yeah.
that feeling of, oh, I remember when I would throw a blue shell and hit
Yeah.
my friend. Like, I have an item that's reminiscent of the blue shell. It kind of has a similar idea behind it, where it targets the person first place,
Mhm.
but it's different what it does. Because it's a board game, it's not the same kind of game. But the idea is, every game that you play that has power-ups in a car,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you always have items that are the same thing as a green shell, but just reskin. And anyone that doesn't play games won't understand or ever played Mario Kart. But I
think
strongly
almost
suggest if you have a
everyone's
kid or if you have a friend who has Mario Kart,
Mm.
play it with them. It's a great time. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I don't know if you've mentioned this, but I think my favorite part about the game you were making was the track building thing.
No, I've not
Can
mentioned
you
this.
talk about it? Or do you not want to talk about it very much yet?
I'm kind of protective of it because I think it's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a really
no,
good
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I will say the general idea is that one of the cool things in Mario Kart and racing games are the tracks. There are so many different designs. So I didn't want to have just one board like a lot of games will go with for if they're like moving in certain ways. And I mean, the ones that do have boards have, oftentimes tons of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember. I thought I ran the number the other day. With only the 20 or so cards I have now, track pieces,
Oh, you did the math.
I think it was, if you use every piece, 20 to, I forget how the math goes. It was definitely over 1,000. I mean, maybe even over 10,000 combinations, because it was
Mhm.
just so many different ones you can do with 20.
I thought it'd be more than that.
So, well, I mean, I only have
I'm not a
20
math
cards.
guy. So.
I only have 20 cards in the whole deck. But the idea is you build a track, and then you race on what you just built. So the fun is that you're not stuck with the same thing over and over again, so the game doesn't get any different. You could end up in one with no power-ups. You could end up with one that's all obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the idea behind it. I don't have all the kinks worked out in the game. Something that I came up with to help out was a finish line. I know it sounds weird, but since you're building a track,
Yeah.
it either becomes a circuit or it becomes a one
Just
way.
just a one way, yeah.
Yeah, like a marathon. And I'm debating whether to put, this sounds really stupid, a cannon on the finish line so you shoots you back to the beginning and then you start.
Oh,
a
if
lap.
it had laps.
Yeah, recurring laps. Because I think there's going to be two ways to play. Either create a circuit and you keep
Mhm.
using cards until someone creates the circuit, or you reach
Hey,
30 cards
yeah.
and then you place down a finish line.
There's nothing that can be unrealistic in a game that's already unrealistic. Like you already hit the point. Like there's shells and stuff. It's just a fun cartoony game. So I feel like a cannon would be funny.
Yeah, I'm just debating if I want to do that or not. But that's all.
You need to start drinking, boy.
Neither here nor there. No. You finish.
No. I already kind of finished mine. We'll take the last sip at the end. I'm saving that.
Oh, that's going to get warm and I'll be so happy when you.
Oh yeah, it'll be good when you finish yours too. Come on.
So, I wanted to talk about something I found interesting. I have a friend who is going to be graduating this year from college, and he is graduating biomed and like things like that. He wants
Jeez.
to be a pediatrician or doctor of some sort, and I've never known much about the way a doctor gets to be where they get. As far as I've always understood a business model for
Mm-hmm.
business that is different. That is like, I go to school, I get into an agency, I work, maybe bounce around a little bit, and then I move up as I go. Hopefully, that's the dream. It's very
Well,
simple.
yeah, that's usually how it works. Yeah.
Out of college, starting around 30,000 to 40 to 60, if you're lucky. So coming out of that, I started wondering, how is my friend who's going to be leaving Bellarmine University, which has a pretty high sticker price, coming out with the thought that he's going to start a job as what's called a medical scribe.
Mm-hmm.
And this medical scribe would be a job where you kind of follow the doctor. You're not necessarily a nurse, you just really deal with the paperwork. And you help get the stuff down, you follow him, make sure it gets done. As far as I understand the job would be.
Yeah, I
And
have
you kinda
no
get that
clue
stuff
what this is. So.
So, what got me is that, how much do you think a medical scribe makes coming out of college? Like, I mean, Bellarmine.
Well, at least 80.
Nope.
Medical?
Medical scribe. Writes down, I mean, making sure your reports are
Wait,
good. to
so
the
are
doctor,
you
stuff
saying
like
more
that.
or less?
Oh, way less.
Oh, like at least 40. Come on.
$12 an hour.
What? Wait, he
And he wants this job.
wants to settle for that out of college?
This is where it blew my mind. Because with our mindset is
Yeah,
like,
no,
coming out of college making at least 40 to 50.
Well, that's
60.
what my mindset is I'm going to college to make more than I can make without college, right?
Yes.
That's like the whole point of college.
So I honestly don't see how medical scribes could even be paid that little coming
No,
out of college.
I don't
'Cause they
think
know
it's
what debt they're in. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I don't get how it works.
Oh, yeah, and the work you had to go through. Like,
But the end result, I talked to a doctor. He came into my work and we talked for a little bit. So I said, I don't understand how he's excited to get out there and be a medical scribe for $12 an hour after getting out of college. I said, I know he's going to live at home. I know he's going to live there for a little bit. He's going to have all the stuff paid for. So he's not in an unsafe place. He's in a good
Uh-huh.
way. I know his student loans are low, but he wants to go to medical school. And I'm like, and that one's going to be on him. He won't be able to get the same scholarships and whatnot as he did last time.
jeez.
So I said, how or why would he ever want to do that? And the guy was actually pretty complimentary. He said they may be a role that seems like a small role and doesn't
Uh-huh.
have a great pay, but as far as the knowledge that they gain there, it is like having portfolio work done.
Well, yeah, that
In our
is
level, he
nice,
learns
yeah.
all the jargon. He gets to learn. There's and I can't remember the name of it now. I might be able to. If I can find it out, I'll pop it on the screen.
So,
But there is a medical dictionary
uh-huh.
that describes like the jargon. It's literally just like, if I made one that says LOL means laugh out loud or whatnot, but
Yeah,
for medical
yeah.
terms.
So you're saying he's doing this for experience at first?
That's what it turns out to. Because a first year med student who's been a medical
Yeah.
scribe has a higher knowledge base and will breeze through all the courses where they're learning the jargon. Like there are courses where they just learn. There's all the stuff and like
Yeah.
how to write down what it is, spell it correctly, get it in the correct hands. Because a mistake could result in a life. As far as I know, as far as a medical scribe does. And he said when he sits on boards, a medical scribe to him is a good sell because they've went through all their college degree and then now they have the first year of experience already under their belt before other people are even getting the chance to touch, anything.
Well, and I'm glad he's liking that because I don't think I would ever do that because I feel like I'm going to school to learn that.
Yeah. No, I understand. I think it's crazy. It seems more like an internship than an actual job.
No, that I feel bad for him. As long as he likes what he's doing, because you can make a lot more than that and hate what you're doing. But
because what I talked to him about was where he moves from that, and he said that you go through, and starting out for somebody like us, we would start out, making right here being like $7.25 an hour as our starting job, and our progress track for I think a good, healthy track, I mean normal, I'd say standard, would be coming out of college, hitting up here. And this is going to be around your, at like 30,000, maybe starting if you're lucky around 40, 60. I mean, I'd like to make more, but
well, yeah,
so does
that's being realistic. Yeah.
So coming out here, and then we just slowly incline. That's it. We just kind of slowly build up, unless you make your own business. It's just something where you pop and then you go. But for a doctor, they go through, and this is what theirs looks like. They come out of college, and then they have student debt, and they're usually down here for a little bit, and for a lot of it, and for longer, and then they go. As far as their income, they just bounce up. Their leaps are by leaps and bounds. They just go bum bum bum. They don't go like that slow thing. Every promotion in a field like that, the gentleman was telling me that it's a huge promotion, not just a.
Well, it's not just like a.
Like
you're moving up to that like the manager and making like maybe 20,000 more. You're making like.
Now you're cracking open skulls, and so we're gonna pay the skull opening money.
The skull opening money.
But that was just, I thought it was interesting.
Oh yeah, that's a scary thought too about, that's what one thing I didn't like about going through college is I wish you learned all the stuff you needed and then right out of college you just get put into that field. But beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, because the one thing he told me when I started saying like, that's not my field, I'm a communications student. He told me a story and I thought this was pretty cool. He said that he had a friend who had a friend. So let's just, for the sake of the story, call him Bob is going to be our doctor, and Steven is going to be our entrepreneur friend, our like food and restaurant management friend. Well, Bob, Steven were in the same school, high school, or college. Then when they left college, Steven was going to go on he got a degree in food service and hospitality, things like that. He was going to go on to make a business. He wanted to run a restaurant, do that sort of thing. While Bob wanted to go and become a doctor. So a couple of years later, they meet and they see each other, and Bob he's doing all right. I mean, he's making it through, but he's paying a lot of money for college and things like that. So he's not feeling great. Doesn't have a great haircut. He's kind of a little unshaven, and wearing kind of like some loose fitting khakis. So he's not in the best shape. But Steven over here is wearing like a polo, some Mario khakis as well. He's not really doing anything too big. And they get to talking, and nothing really big is going on. The guy's like, I'm working on this idea for a business. I have no clue really what I'm going to do with it. I just think, I have these ideas and I'm working on them. And so they leave, and they run into each other like 5 years later. And now Bob is fresh out of med school. He's got his first year under his belt, and now he's wearing, a nice suit, and he meets Steven, who's wearing, kind of still worn out khakis, not looking too great, and kind of an all right, like, polo. So, I mean, same Bob, or same Steven as he's always been. And they get to talking, and, the doctor's feeling a little hoity-toity because he's doing so well now that he's out, and because he's been so low for so long, now he's up here, so he's feeling good, and they leave, and they come back, and they meet each other finally 10 years later. Steven looks the exact same, but Bob at this point is making a lot of money, and they get to talking. He's like, yeah, I have this idea. He goes, and we're about to start, and I just don't know what to call it. He's like, I'm thinking Cracker Barrel. And that's what he ended up doing, and then, you know how the story goes now. He's now making a good deal of money, and he was the man who made Cracker Barrel. And it's like, the guy told me that story, and it's like, well, there totally is hope behind it. If you have that drive, it's like, even if doctors are making, the idea is like, you want to make a lot of money? Be a doctor. it's a pretty easy like
Easy.
job when you think of. Sorry, it's an easy like
Yeah.
go to job when you think of what's a job that makes a lot
Well,
of money.
it's like the stereotype, like
Survey says, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
doctor makes a lot of money or actor,
Uh-huh.
and those two they're not easy jobs at all to get into. But I mean,
yeah. Mm.
if you think about a job that makes a lot of money, those are two really easy ones to name. So I thought that was pretty cool because he told me
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think it's an interesting. It took Steven 10 years to finally get that up and running and figure out. But where he is now, I'm sure it's a
Mhm.
great. I don't know if I feel like the guy who owns Cracker Barrel wouldn't have like a very modern house. I feel like he'd still buy like
Yeah.
a prairie home. I'll have to look it up. I don't know if Steven was the right name. Maybe I got lucky.
Well, it's still insane, like how hard medical school is. And,
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
like you're getting what you deserve at that point because you're like studying when all the business school people are out partying and stuff.
Yeah, he told me that when people go through medical school, they essentially they go through the lowest point for so long
Yeah.
that from there on, when they get out, it's pretty much like, oh, this is easy. Like no matter how hard the
Oh,
job
yeah,
is,
they
it's like,
work
this
so
isn't compared
hard, yeah.
to working, having tests or whatever. Like an easy week for them is like, oh, I only have 2 tests this week. Great. Like
Yeah.
he says your standard for happiness gets a lot like lower, so
Uh-huh.
it becomes a lot easier to please. So like a good night, it's a great night. He said, but you don't come out the same. He goes, you pick up something along the way. He goes, he
That's
personally
great.
said that his weight like fluctuated a lot during time because he,
Mhm.
he said he'd be studying for 4 hours and be like, oh, I forgot to eat. Like
I forgot.
I've never done that. I told him, I said, I'm never gonna have that experience, but I understand
Yeah,
what you're
I
saying.
have like complete respect for everyone with like difficult like health related or science related major where they have to study. They're in the library all day. I just couldn't do that, and there's a reason why I picked this. Everyone's a little different.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had a topic you wanted to talk about, so I'll let you have
Yeah.
your time to shine. What is you wanted to talk about Kickstarter and specifically a certain Kickstarter.
Oh yeah.
So what was
So
that?
we all pretty much know what Kickstarter is. Like you have a business idea, and the place you go to fund it, you go online, you get backers. If your product's good.
Yeah, so go break down the whole thing. So if I was wanting to start a board game per se.
Oh, there it goes again.
Oh, there's been another 15 minutes. Good job.
So what do you talk about? Like
So like if I wanted to start a board game, can I explain what? Because people that don't know
Yeah,
Kickstarter
yeah.
is kind of tell them what it is because it's an interesting. We'll link a description.
so I'm not too sure when it came out, but I know that this is a place now where a lot of up and coming business goes. You see crazy business ideas, bigger business ideas. So if you wanted to make a board game, you would take pretty much everything that you've worked on and you'd showcase it, show pictures, show videos, and you'd be like, if you want to be a part of this, help donate to get this off the ground. And there'll be like different backer tiers, like pledge $5 and you'll get your like name in the back of the book or whatever. And you can pretty much pick whatever you want at that point. You could set a limit and set a goal. Like some of them have like insane goals that they never reach.
Yeah,
but,
but those are like
yeah.
they had those like stretch goals, what they're called. So it's like if our goal is $10,000 to publish the board game and get it done, but if we reach 20,000, we'll double the amount of pieces in the game, something like that.
So this website has like a bunch of cool business ideas, board games, anything. They have like I think they had one with like a cooler attachment or something. But this one guy came on here.
Genius.
Yeah, genius. And said he was going to make a potato salad, but wasn't sure like what he was going to do yet with it.
Yeah, he
So
knew he
he's-
wanted to make a potato
Yeah,
salad.
he chose, and this became infamous for the potato salad Kickstarter project. And he wasn't sure what flavor he wanted to do yet. And his pledge was like something like $200 or something.
I think his highest stretch goal was like $200.
Yeah.
I'll make 4 potato salads.
Yeah, so he had like pledges like, oh, if you pledge $20, you'll get to sample it and like help pick the flavor or something. This Kickstarter project ended up raising like over like $200,000.
No, I don't have the number, but it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Literally, the pledge goals were not like you get to be a part
Yeah.
of it. It was like you bought my potato salad. Like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
goal. But he started making stretch goals because they started getting so high. And at the end, his stretch goal was like, I don't know why we're even at $200,000.
Yeah.
He goes, if I get to $250,000, I'll order like an event space and we'll have a potato
Oh,
salad
yeah,
party.
yeah.
And he ended up doing that. I bet he had potato salad along
Yeah.
the way.
So, because this guy got so popular, there's obviously a lot of clones and stuff to go through. Like, people are like, oh, I'll make, like, Hot Pockets. And then those, like, didn't get popular. Some of them hit, some of them missed. But now Kickstarter's kind of this place where people go in with, like, the craziest ideas. Like, you'll scroll through and find, like, anything from, I think there's, like, a coffee, like, tusk that you could drink out of. From like things that actually are like revolutionary. Like there's like
Some
two.
cool things would come out of
Yeah.
there. Some pretty neat ones. And I would
Yeah.
say that there's other types
You
of
can see
Kickstarter.
both sides of the spectrum. You could see like weird things that people are just trying to copy the potato salad idea, and things that like are actually gonna like be effective and change how we like live and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
some of them are really cool ideas.
Yeah.
And you watch them and you're like, well, that's amazing. And you
Yeah,
make
yeah,
money.
yeah.
But there's never guaranteed return. That's kind of sometimes the worrying thing about Kickstarter. If they don't hit their goal, they can't pay their
I
manufacturer
was-
and they can't get it made.
confused about Kickstarter. Like, what do they do if they don't reach their goal?
I think that's part of the pledge process. You're pledging to give them money. In
Do they
hopes
have
for
to give the
return.
money back if they don't?
I don't
reach
think
it?
so. No.
Do they still do it ever with it?
If it were to get like,
Let's say you started one and your goal is like 20,000. That's how much it costs to do everything to make the prototype, whatever, and you made like 18,000. Would you still like have to go through with your plan? And just like some people didn't like it. What if some people like pledged to actually buy the product? Because you can do that. You can pledge to buy.
oh yeah, I know what you're saying. I think in my head, what I was planning if we did Kickstarter or like
Mhm.
Indiegogo is another website. If we were to do something like that, I thought that how the system works is if you don't hit your goal, I don't think you have to pay out, and I don't know if you're allowed to touch the money until you hit your goal. In my head, I wouldn't touch the money until I reach the goal.
Well,
Because that way,
it's
if I
just
need to
this number
refund-
that's floating until you reach the goal. Because then you can do whatever you
Now you
want.
can realize the
Yeah.
ambitions because you've hopefully picked a number that is realistic and not just picked one.
That
because we're gonna
reminds me
offer
too.
products.
Rooster Teeth actually started a movie on Kickstarter. Or was that Indiegogo?
Indiegogo, it was
Yeah.
Laser Team. Yeah, they did that over there.
Mm.
And then I recently did a book that I wanted for Dungeons and Dragons. It was it was a player guide, and it got funded, I think, $1 million. That was very surprising. I was not ready, but it was very cool. The idea behind it just being like a book of extra rules for a game. Like
Yeah,
yeah, you can make
you find the
anything
right fan base, so they're gonna want it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and
like, oh,
advertise
this is
well.
yeah. You really have to find the consumer's needs.
Yeah, so I thought it was awesome, and I'm hoping that when we release our
Yeah,
catastrophe, that we'll hit that nostalgia that people will want to present it on their like
yeah.
social media
And-
whatnot. And if it hits that right chord,
I
then
noticed
it'd be pretty
good Kickstarter projects.
have a quality video.
Yeah, they have a quality video. I watched the
Except for
potato
potato
salad
salad.
one. No, that one actually had a quality video.
Well, I thought it was just a picture of potato salad.
It might have been. Maybe it was, I accidentally ran into one of the
copies.
The copies.
Yeah,
You don't really, because at that point it said it was over a while ago though. But good Kickstarter projects have like an outline of what they're gonna do with the money.
Mhm.
Like 20,000 is going to this, blah blah blah. That,
yeah. They
this.
do a breakdown so you
Yeah.
know what they're paying for.
Oh, there you go.
Oh no.
Oh, it walked them out completely. But what kind of things do you think? And I know you don't have any of the numbers, and I don't expect it at all. But where do you?
Where do I see the money going?
Yeah, like I know obviously toward building the prototype or whatever.
I
But
have-
what other places like? It confused because that's the part of business that I never really understood. Like, what factories do you send it out to? that
This
are
is
gonna
what I'm
make
trying to
it?
learn. There is a company that I'm trying to work with, and I'm gonna see how they do it. But they're like I don't know the word, drop shipping company. They will print the
Mhm.
board game, help me get it set inside, make it look good, but you have to get like a minimum of 100 copies or something like that.
Mhm.
So my goal would be to work out the numbers, logistics with them, because I'm sure they've worked with Kickstarter before when they're a board game
Oh,
company.
yeah.
Like they are specifically made for printing board games. I've checked their games they've made.
Oh yeah, I would be surprised if they haven't worked with Kickstarter.
So my big thing is that I want to know. One thing that I'm like very big on, I think will be the most expensive part of the box. Ironically, is the 3 dice that I want to have.
Really? Why do you think that's? Well, I know you're like the dice god, so
they're,
um,
they're not standard dice, and I want to expose people
I thought
to
it was
dice
just a
that-
D20, a D6. I thought
Okay.
it was just.
I realized the other day people don't know what D anything means when I describe dice.
I thought that meant dice.
It does, but people did
Got
not
it.
know this. I started telling my brother like, "Oh, just roll the D4," and he was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "That's a 4-sided die, duh." That's something that's because you played
Yeah,
Dungeons
yeah.
and Dragons. But I want to expose people to those dice because I'm going to use them
Uh-huh.
in a lot of things. I want people to get the lingo because slowly it'll build towards maybe making a.
Oh,
role-playing
so
game
you're
of my
saying
own.
I had it right, but maybe they didn't know what it was?
Yeah, I'm saying that they did not know
Oh,
what it
okay,
was.
makes sense.
So, the idea is that I have 3 dice in the game: a D4, which is a 4-sided die, a D6, 6-sided die. That's your normal playing die, and then a D8. So, I'll
Mhm.
require this special die, and I know this company could make them, but I feel like that's going to be a.
Would it be
higher
easier, and
point.
I know it's like spreading out, I don't know if it's a good idea, but to go to a dice company and have them do that? Or is it easier to just do it
all in one. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they're all in one because they have pretty nice
Mhm.
stuff over there. So, other than that, though, I'm hoping that company buys, creates, and ships. So if they work with Kickstarter, I can give them a list of all the shipping places.
Mhm.
I'm hoping to be able to send a board game for. I'm hoping each board game is $8 to get out, like from beginning to end to sending. But I'm thinking more realistically, it's going to be $12 to make the board game and send the board game. And I'm hoping to make, I think $10 a board game is a fair number for me. Because the thing is, you think about that, it's like, oh gosh, well that's $10 extra you have to spend,
Mhm.
so I can make money. But you only spend that once. It's when it's everybody combined, that's what makes big numbers. But
Yeah.
I feel like $10 for making and designing, conceptualizing, taking to the place, having the art done,
Well, yeah, for all the work together, that's part of the profit's part of the
Mhm.
game.
Like if I sat on the roadside, I wouldn't feel bad saying, "Hey, this cost me X to make, and I want $10 extra because I want to, make
Oh,
money."
yeah.
I don't think anyone would ever have a problem with that, and if they did, then they wouldn't buy it, and that'd be done.
Mhm.
But that's kind of my idea behind it, is that I want to break it down to where I can make at least $10 off each board game without going over the price of $30.
Sorry, I laughed. You wrote Idealio.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's go about that because you want to talk about.
No,
Crazy business
I was
ideas.
looking at what was next to make sure we're good for time. But crazy business idea. You had the one last time, and it was the car.
The desert.
Yeah, the
Wait, I never named the business. I think I'd call it like. I don't even know.
You're
I
already
think
making
about
a board game about carts.
Hey, maybe that passed on. I just didn't know it subconsciously. Really wanted to talk about cards. So what is that
All
at
right.
the bottom?
Do one chug before I start talking about it.
No, start talking about it. I'll get.
No. Chug.
No,
Chug.
stop. I don't want to. I don't want to be watched
It
because
isn't
my
funny.
face is always bad.
Well, you're gonna go back and watch it and be like,
Well, you're going to
"Oh."
as well. I'm gonna
Yeah,
see.
and it's fine. I drank mine. It's part of the dealio. Idealio.
All right, just whatever. Start the
Um,
business
all right.
idea. You had a general concept, but this isn't.
Yeah, I wasn't
Developed
too
too far.
sure. It wasn't developed really at all. It was just an idea because I was mad because I lost my keys the other day.
But this idea sort of exists already. But I think you had to elaborate on.
And
it.
I'll be glad if it does because I need it. So basically, there's already some. Apparently, you said, "Oh man, he's a trooper."
Yeah.
That wasn't good. That like a Find My Keys thing.
There's not a Find My Keys.
But I was thinking of putting like some sort of like tracker on the key, like or something on a keychain. You just hook it onto the keychain.
Okay, now that's what I think. I'm saying
Is that already made?
that is already a thing.
I didn't look it
It's
up.
called a tile, and
A tile?
that's the most popular one that I know of. And you put it on anything, and if you
Mhm.
have one tile, you can beep the other one. Or if
Oh.
you have your phone, you can beep it.
Well, that's brilliant. I might need that extra.
So I thought what the cooler idea would be just for now on when you manufacture a key, you put the sensor inside of a key, and especially the.
What do you
newer
mean by
cars.
that? Like instead of having a plain metal key, like this is because I know for fancier cars you just have to have the key near the
The key
car.
fob.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is the key fob has a sensor inside of it, so you can just
Fob.
ring your keys. That's what
So-
I'm saying. From your phone,
Oh,
you should be able to
okay.
ring your keys. They should be like a Bluetooth device. So I'm saying now would be the idea. You sell the sensor.
So it's a build off of the other thing.
Well, it is just for your keys. So if you buy a car that's that expensive, that
Mhm.
your keys are has a ringer in it that you can connect to your phone with. That's it. So you just sell the sensor, the little.
But what
little
about
beeper.
for non-expensive cars, like something?
Well, they can get over it.
Yeah.
They can just get a tile. I'm telling you, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
but you could just get the idea now. Go copyright the idea of putting a beeping little thing inside of the key. I think we're gonna end up calling a lot of things get made in the future. I'm telling you. I think.
What was that thing that you were talking about? We were on the way out to eat one day, and you were talking about there's businesses that just make patents.
Oh well, there's this idea behind it. It was called patent trolling.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you just spend your entire business model patenting things that aren't out yet in hopes that once they're made, you sue the
Yeah.
person that makes them, or they settle with you to use your thing and pay you royalties or something like that. It's a really scummy way of business
Yeah.
in my eyes, but I mean,
Oh,
it's a business model. It's not crazy. It's just annoying.
yeah. Like you're saying, if you patent a certain model of a teleporter, and if they ever came out with something close to that, like in
Well, I
the
mean,
future.
Yeah, if I don't have a prototype, I couldn't, but I could patent a design. Like as far as I know, intellectually, I can patent the idea behind a square teleporter. Like this square object will flash
Mhm.
things from one spot to another. I can patent that square design, but if it say came out and it like had to be square and they started selling them commercially, then I believe I could sue saying, hey, I patented it, but things I don't have a prototype, but I could prototype the design, but
Right.
not the actual teleporter. So it's kind of like green straws for Starbucks. If I started using green straws for my restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably get sued if I was a big restaurant. Kind of like using the golden arches. If
Mhm.
you'd use those
Oh,
in the
yeah.
design, then it would be.
Well, yeah.
McDonald's. So that's the idea behind
that's
it.
the
You
whole
just
thing.
you patent something that you think you can sue someone for.
You're a trooper, by the way. I did not think you'd do that.
Oh, I was trying to do it real subtle. So we
You
can,
didn't want me to make a big deal of it.
no, I just want to finish the tea. So how about we clink teas?
We clink teas, do the last sip of the week of this awful. Oh, we didn't rate it.
Oh, how many teas out of tea?
Yeah. What did
Oh, this is lower than the last one.
Really? It's lower than the
Oh,
last
it-
one.
it has-
So, this one at least has flavor.
No, the last one had no
All right,
flavor.
you're picking the next one, punk.
I picked the first one. You picked the next one.
Yeah, we'll just keep picking. I'll just start picking ones that are just foul. It'll be
Well,
funnier.
don't. Then I'll pick them every week. Then.
It won't even be from. It'll just be something I make at home.
No, I think we want to start doing from there's a local tea shop, and I think we want
Yeah,
to
that
start
might
doing
be.
there.
Well,
So we
that's
can
gonna
deal with
taste
them.
good. Well, yeah. What would you
Why do you
describe?
say that like that's
Well, yeah,
offensive?
No, you're right. I just like to see your face when you do it. It's funny.
I know this sounds really gross, but like, can I not take a plastic baggie with ice and put it inside so it doesn't water down the tea, but I can also have cold drink?
Business idea.
Oh my gosh, a cup that like cools down your drink without. I think it's a thing already.
Probably is.
Well,
So we need to talk about what it tastes like, describe it, and rate
it
the
tastes
tea.
like someone took stale celery.
Oh yeah,
stale,
you did
like,
say that.
kale.
Stale stuff. I thought it tasted like kind of like a sushi, kind of weird. You know, like the kelp, not the kelp, the seaweed, the gross seaweed wrap.
Yeah, I guess I could say it tastes like seaweed with milk and ice.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know if they see that.
And I rate this. That's more clear.
Yeah,
Here's
all
the
that
seaweed.
green.
So I rate this tea.
Uh,
I mean, honestly, worse than the last tea.
4 out of 10 teas.
Why are you giving it a 4? Do you like it more than the last one?
I don't even know what I got the last one. It was at like a 6.
Why did your thoughts when I said
I
so? It's
don't know.
awful. Okay.
I think 2 is because how I think of the scale. 1 being absolutely repulsive, and I like spit it back in, and then 10 being like really good, and dang, I'd actually buy that by myself.
I'm really gonna try to get a 1.
Yeah, I think we should try. One week we should. I'm not even gonna tell you. I'm gonna put something.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
gonna
when
put
it's your
soy
week to
sauce
get
in
tea,
it.
then you get whatever you want.
Yeah.
No, you can't put anything in the tea. You have to buy a tea.
AT.
Like you have to buy.
80.
I have a teacher named A.T. Sampson. So
Nice.
just made me think of that when you said
So
A.T..
4 is just like right above being absolutely repulsive. So 4 is good. 2 is like, oh, you almost threw it up. So
Okay, I'm a 2 then. I
You did not
hate
almost-
this.
you
I
did
hate
not.
it. We're
You're a
gonna watch.
baby.
We're gonna watch like the video. You're gonna see my face the moment I had the
yeah, I
first
haven't
sip.
been staring at your face.
Yeah, you missed out.
But you wanna dink it?
I almost just drank it because I wanted to get it over with. I hate this.
We're gonna do one last shot.
Hey, you know how to.
Yeah. Okay. I think the cup.
Oh.